Let's start with the first act, which is the Farmers Producer Trade and Commerce Act. This act states that farmers and traders will enjoy freedom of choice relating to sale and purchase of farmers' produce, which means that there will be no barriers to interstate or intrastate trade. This act also allows farmers to sell their harvest outside of APMC mandis without paying any state taxes or fees. Coming to the second act, which is the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Act, wherein farmers can make contractual agreements with retailers, exporters, as well as processors. The third one is an amendment to a very stringent 65-year-old Essential Commodities Act, which is the ECA. It is about doing away with the centre's powers to impose stockholding limits on foodstuff except under extraordinary circumstances like a war or a natural calamity. The amendment also states that cereals, edible oils, oilseeds, pulses, onions and tomatoes have now been removed from this list of essential commodities. The government hopes that these new laws will provide farmers with more choice and competition, leading to better prices, of course, as well as ushering in a surge of much-needed private investment in this sector. Now, while all of this sounds fantastic on paper, let's try and really break down why is it that farmers are protesting. Here are some of the reasons. The farmers fear exploitation at the hands of private players and that minimum support price, which is MSP, that is assured to them for their produce will eventually be abolished. Breaking it down slightly further, why is MSP important? Earlier on, an average farmer would produce whatever he can, take it to a state-run APMC market where the government regulates price and makes sure farmers get a fair price, because APMC mandis are where price discovery happens. The middlemen who want to buy their produce in bulk tend to negotiate with the farmers to come up with a set price. If the farmer is unable to sell, to the middleman or anyone else for whatever reason, the government tends to buy it at a minimum support price, thus ensuring that the farmer gets something for the efforts that they've put in. Through these acts, the farmers can now choose to directly sell to private players without involving APMCs. Remember, which is where the price discovery happens. Now, without APMCs, there is a likelihood of wild price fluctuations throughout the country for different kinds of produce. While the centre claims that they have no plans to abolish MSP, farmers are skeptical whether private players will pay a fair price in the long run and will the government continue to procure the produce at MSP if farmers are unable to sell in APMCs and to private players since it is not provided in writing. Why are protests predominant in Punjab and Haryana? These states are the main contributors of wheat and paddy production. According to a middleman that we spoke to, Punjab and Haryana have efficiently managed their MSP policies, and he also states that farmers earn the value for their produce with a very properly mediated mandi system. In other states, for instance, like Bihar and Maharashtra, some of these reforms have already been brought in. Now, after the abolition of this mandis, research states that farmers in Bihar on average recovered lower prices compared to MSP, because of which a lot of farmers have migrated to states like Punjab and Haryana in, search of work.
On Tuesday, 3 union ministers met with the protesting farmers and offered to set up a committee to address their concerns. But it was rejected by the representatives of 35 agitating organizations. The farmers are willing to continue the dialogue with the centre. The farm bodies have been asked to identify the specific issues with each of the farm laws and submit a list by Wednesday. Peaceful sit-in by farmers continue near the Delhi borders. Agri-tech startups are likely to be the biggest beneficiaries of the farm laws. According to some of them, removal of stockholding limits will attract private investments. It will also lead to more efficiency and less wastage in the sector. Secondly, according to a number of farmers supporting the farm laws, there is a greater possibility for innovation. So far, farmers have been focusing on quantity to get more prices, but now they can focus on quality. With no restriction to sell only at APMC mandis, farmers will have the freedom to sell their produce to aggregators, food processors and exporters even before the harvest at predetermined prices. The protesting farmers say that these acts are completely unnecessary. they have a few demands from the centre. Their most important demand is a guaranteed minimum support price. They want the mention of the same in these acts. Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Act that aims to regulate contract cultivation has seen major opposition from these protesting farmers. They fear exploitation at the hands of corporates. Farmers also want the withdrawal of Electricity Amendment Bill, as they feel that they won't get free electricity because of this. Another demand by the farmers is the end of fine and jail sentence for stubble burning. In addition to these major demands, they also want diesel at subsidized rates and that their long pending debts should be waived off. The farm bills have seen opposition from various states like Punjab, Rajasthan, and Chhattisgarh. Punjab was the first state to reject and counter the farm laws. The Assembly has proposed 3 new bills, each of which is designed to counter the centre's laws. Rajasthan government on 31st also introduced 3 new bills. The proposed bills protect the consumers from hoarding and black marketing of agricultural produce and secure the interest of the farmers. Unlike the Central Act, which has removed the ceiling on stock of farm commodities, the bill sought to give powers to the state government to regulate the production, supply and distribution and impose stock limits under extraordinary circumstances.